Hey there, guys. This is Cole. Welcome to a movie news video. Finally doing one of these on the channel, and today I'm gonna be covering I'm gonna be covering some movie news today. We're gonna be tackling the title for the sequel to a Minecraft movie. The new horror movie Damien Leone is directing that, and so much more. So. I want to hear your thoughts on all of this news in the comment section down below by the time this video is done. But we are gonna start from the oldest news, well, essentially by default because it's recent news, all the way up to the newest news. That's exactly what we're gonna do. But let's go ahead. So our first movie news here is we now know the new movie that Damien Leone is gonna be directing. Now, for those of you guys who do not know, Damien Leone or Damien Leone is the guy who directed the Damien Leone, the filmmaker. He is most well known for the Terrifier movies starring the horror movie icon Art the Clown. And the Terrifier movies were very successful independent horror movies about a killer clown named Art, where the blood and the guts, everything was 100% practical, and they were popular movies. And I do like the Terrifier movies. I do think they are pretty good, but they're good independent horror movies. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today, we now know what he's going to be directing next, and it was announced that on May 29th of 2026 by Variety that Damien Leone is going to be directing a movie called Torturers of the Damned for Lionsgate, and what has me interested is that Sam Raimi, the director of the first 3 Evil Dead movies and the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, is going to be serving as an executive producer on the movie. Now, unfortunately, we don't really have a lot of details, like, we don't even really know what the movie's going to be about, but considering the fact that Sam Raimi is one of my personal favorite movie directors, is an executive producer on a movie with the Terrifier director Damien Leone directing, sign me up for that. That sounds like that's going to be a really good movie. And Damien Leone said that this is not going to be as violent, it's not going to be as extreme as the Terrifier movies, because it's more of a Hollywood movie rather than an independent movie. But still, regardless, I am very excited. And again, the plot details are being kept under wraps, but there is rumors and speculation that this might either be a horror movie about vampires or gargoyles, and I would be on board for either option. So yeah, sign me up for that. The next movie news, and unfortunately is movie news that I don't care about, but I'm gonna cover it anyways. And on May 31st of 2026, according to Deadline and multiple other reliable news sources, Warner Bros. Themselves finally revealed what a Minecraft movie 2 is going to be called. And the sequel to a Minecraft movie is going to be called a Minecraft Movie Squared. And in my opinion, I think that that's a really stupid title. Now granted, I understand that there are square blocks in the Minecraft games, but I still think that that's a really stupid title. And I hated the first Minecraft movie, coming from someone who is a casual Minecraft fan, a casual fan of the game. I thought that the live action movie was terrible, and I thought that I thought that Jack Black was terribly miscast as Steve, and I thought that Jason Momoa was as equally terrible. And how that movie made close to $1 billion, now look, yes, I understand Minecraft has a big fan base, but how that piece of garbage movie made close to $1 billion, I don't understand it, but I have no interest in the sequel. But yeah, I guess for those of you guys who liked the movie, there you go. There's your good news of what the sequel is going to be. Now, the next movie news is going to be about the new A24 horror film, Backrooms. Now, for those of you guys who do not know what Backrooms is, in 2019, a website by the name of 4chan came up with in 2019, there was a viral creepypasta called The Backrooms, and it was a very viral, a creepypasta that was very viral on 4chan, and then in 2022, a YouTuber by the name of Kane Parsons created a created a web series on YouTube based on the Backrooms creepypasta, and the web series on YouTube was really popular. And then recently, on May 29th of 2026, Kane Parsons, who directed the 2022 Backrooms web series based on the creepypasta, finally got a chance to do a Backrooms movie as a full-length feature movie for A24. And the movie right now is very successful at the box office. I mean, the opening weekend that this movie came out, the Backrooms made $81 million. It made $81 million in the U.S. on its opening weekend. The funny thing is like, now Star Wars is one of the most popular big movie franchises of all time, but the most recent Star Wars movie that came out, Mandalorian and Grogu, Backrooms managed to outbeat that movie at the box office, like, as to where Mandalorian and Grogu dropped, and this, like, just skyrocketed. Like, the fact that, you know, that a low-budget horror film for only $10 million, you know, outdid a Star Wars movie opening weekend, you know, like, now, granted, I know Mandalorian and Grogu came out a week before, but still, the fact that it's doing better than a Star Wars movie is insane. But now there are reasons for that, because people are kind of fatigued with Star Wars, but however, and I did see the Backrooms movie, and I thought that it was a good movie, but and I will do a review on that later, but that's not what we're here to talk about. So apparently, very similar to what happened at the Minecraft movie. Now granted, it was nowhere near as bad as what happened at the Minecraft movie, but there were some people who were very disrespectful at some of the movie theaters at the Backrooms. For example, there was this guy on TikTok who said, "I greatly appreciate the movie theater lady who stopped the movie telling the kids to get out because you have these teenagers in there and one of them brought fireworks." No joke, people. Very similar to what happened at a Minecraft. Now, granted, nowhere near as bad, but some of the people, the people on TikTok who went to the Minecraft movie who were very disrespectful towards the theater staff with how they trashed the theater. Once again, that crowd was very disrespectful in some movie theaters with the Backrooms. Now, luckily, the movie theater I was at, luckily that did not happen at the theater I was at, but that's not the point here, where basically, like, there was this girl who said that, there was a girl on TikTok who said she loved the movie, but it was one of the worst theater experiences she had because basically there was a bunch of guys talking that were very disrespectful, and she said, "I felt like I was in a classroom with a bunch of immature high schoolers." And there was even a movie theater where some teenagers brought in some fireworks and lit them off. Like, what is wrong with people? Like, how hard is it to behave yourself in a movie theater? Like, I seriously don't get some people, but oh well. Hey, at least it didn't happen in my movie theater, but yeah. The next movie news is movie news that is not so great once again. Now, for those of you guys who do not know, the 1981 action movie Escape from New York with Kurt Russell, directed by John Carpenter, is one of my favorite not only is it one of my favorite Kurt Russell movies of all time, it is also one of my favorite action movies of all time. And when Escape from New York came out in 1981, it received positive reviews by critics and audiences, and it was a big hit at the box office, and it was both successful for John Carpenter, movie director John Carpenter, and, of course, Kurt Russell. Well, now granted, a remake has been talked about for years, but we have an update on it. On June 1st of 2026, it was announced that Zack Snyder is directing a remake of Escape from New York. Now, when it comes to Zack Snyder, he's a bit on and off as a director for me. Now, I did like the Dawn of the Dead 2004 remake. Not as good as the original movie, but I liked it for what it was. I also liked the movie 300. I also liked Watchmen. I also did enjoy The Legend of the Guardians, Owls of Ga'Hoole. I think that's a pretty underrated movie. And I do like Man of Steel. However, his more recent movies, I have really, however, my main concern is how Zack Snyder is today, because in more recent years, Zack Snyder has made some really bad movies that I was not a fan of. I thought that Batman vs. Superman, I hated that movie. I thought that movie was terrible. I also thought that Sucker Punch was terrible. Army of the Dead, I thought that movie had a cool premise, but the execution of it was pretty bad. I really did not like Army of the Dead with Dave Bautista, and I absolutely despised Rebel Moon. And now his director's cut of Justice League, I don't think it was bad by any stretch of the imagination, but looking back at it, I do think that Zack Snyder's Justice League, I will say this, his director's cut of Justice League, it was significantly better than whatever the Joss Whedon garbage theatrical cut was, but even then, I still had my problems with it. But I don't know, him doing a remake of Escape from New York, he's not the type of person I would want to do. And in all honesty, I had a better idea for a new Escape from New York movie anyways. My idea for a new Escape from New York movie, or a third movie in the series, would be this. I was kind of thinking, you could make a third Escape from New York movie called Escape from Chicago, but since Kurt Russell is a bit older, bring him back as Snake Plissken, but have Snake Plissken be a mentor to a new, younger character. And as for who could play the new main character, I was thinking you could either cast Scott Adkins or Iko Uwais. I think that would be a really cool idea for a third movie, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we're going to be getting that. So, yeah. And the last movie news of the day is that, as we all know, Masters of the Universe, based on the iconic 1980s cartoon, is getting a new live action movie, which this is overall the second live action movie adaptation, because in 1987 there was the Masters of the Universe movie starring Dolph Lundgren, the live action film based on the cartoon, which I've never seen, but this is going to be the second movie adaptation. And I know some people are saying that they're not hyped for this movie. I'm curious about it. I mean, I will give this movie a fair chance because it's being directed by Travis Knight, who I really like as a director, because prior to this upcoming movie, Travis Knight directed the 2018 movie Bumblebee, and in my opinion, I thought that Bumblebee was a very good movie and easily the best Transformers movie. So when I heard that he was going to be taking on Masters of the Universe, I was like, that sounds cool. And unfortunately, Jared Leto, who I don't really like as an actor or as a person, is being cast as Skeletor, as an actor, Jared Leto, he is an extremely hit or miss actor, mostly miss, but that's not what we're here to talk about. So the movie comes out this Friday. It's Tuesday night on the night I'm recording this, and the early reviews for this movie have been positive. In fact, the movie right now currently holds a 74% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. But not that I care what Rotten Tomatoes has to say, because I think that it's a garbage website for many reasons, but that's a whole nother video, whole nother topic, whole nother day. But yeah, that was pretty much all the movie news I had to cover today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye now.